All right. Okay, team. So I'm going to lay out a few things for what we're going to do in the next couple of weeks. It's going to be a lot about robustness of systems. It's a very important, incredibly important thing, right? We have systems all around us that function fantastically in that they persist for years and years, sometimes centuries, sometimes millennia, millions of years. But occasionally go bang, right? Sometimes they go pop, right? So that's a feature of systems that worries us greatly. Smart grids, for the power grid, for example, we try to make it smarter. Facebook being hacked or things spreading on Facebook, these are all big system problems. So we're going to talk about that. We'll connect back into scaling because this is these scaling structures of systems are just so omnipresent that or universal that it's people have tried all sorts of, have come up with all sorts of reasons for why they exist, right? So I think this is what we'll get to. Hopefully today will be get through most of it today will be pretty powerful. All right, so things. I was going to start, I'm going to show you this to start with. It's a crossword. I know I've talked about these, but I'm just going to give you a few of these again, all right? This is cryptic crosswords. I just want to show you this madness. This is from last Friday. Poll is pretty good. So here you go. So this is with sailor's termination, pine perhaps about death for colorful character on board, question mark. So this is English, which is an issue. So here's the thing, it's actually two clues. So it's this one and then this one. It says 13 and 12, this says C13. So kind of ridiculous. So this is, sailor's termination is R. Pine is an evergreen. Perhaps, so pine perhaps, it's an example of an evergreen. So that perhaps means a lot. So R, evergreen, about death, which is D. Oh, sorry, end in this case, it's end, right? So there's ever, right? So we had R, evergreen, and then end in the middle is death. For colorful character on board. So this is a UK version. Does anyone know what this game, so it's a game, it's a game. The board means a game, from a game board. So it's called, I think, Mr. Green in the US. Is it Clue? It's Clue, yeah. So this is from Cluedo. I don't know why it's called Cluedo, but there's a DO on the end of the UK Australia thing. And it's, yeah. So there's Mr. Buddy in that one. Anyway, so we bought Clue as a result. It was pretty good. Hadn't played it for a long time. My wife accidentally put two weapons in the little package, so we couldn't really solve it. Anyway, so if you know these things. That was a funny reveal. Lots of beautiful things in here. So this is kind of weird. This one, what's this one? Yeah, door knocker. So gutless benefactor. I'll just show you a couple. Gutless benefactor. Where is it? One criticizing Nobel by the sound of it. So the Nobel Prize are on, so it's topical, right? So this turns out, by the sound of it, is a sounds like, right? Like charades or charades. No bell, so no bell, as in no bell, right? So you don't have a bell, so that's a door knocker, which is, right? That's a door knocker. So that's sort of the joke one. And then gutless benefactor, one criticizing, so a criticizer is a knocker, and a benefactor is a donor without the middle. Take the N out of donor. So a gutless benefactor is a door. I'll show you one more, and then we'll stop. This is a nice one. Lots of clues, lots of pieces in this one. So it's actually 17, 16, and 17 down. So 17 across, 16 across, 17 down. And it tells you where it goes, right? So surprised to arrive at a literary festival, question mark. So a surprise is a turn up for the books. I don't know if anyone has heard that saying, but it's a turn up for the books. It's something that went against what we had in the books, probably from betting, right? So a turn up for the books. Not sure about the origin. Anyway, to arrive at a literary festival is just turn up for books at a literary festival. So the question is, does it have a good surface read, which means if you read this literally, right, you're just reading this and there's nothing in it, right? But it turns out there's stuff inside. Eventually with these things, you never do the surface read. You actually just ignore any surface content. So you miss jokes eventually because you just go straight into trying to find out the solution. All right. That was fun.